Thank you so much. Good morning. Let me very quickly take to you, Aarti, on that seat itself. Devaraj Urs and Siddaramaiah are the only two chief ministers those who have ever been able to complete a 5-year term.
Just a correction on that. S.M. Krishna technically completed a full term. It's just that he called for an election a little early. Early election. But otherwise, in terms of this one, he completed the full term of the assembly. Krishna completed a full term as chief minister.
Okay, all right.
We've got the first leads.
All right, the 3 leads have come in, and at this moment, no contest there. 1-1-1 for each.
Triple matches.
Everybody should be happy. Go ahead.
No, Ankit, this the vote share thing that you were speaking about earlier.
Yeah.
See, even if the JDS retains its vote share, this time it may be a little more distributed than last time because they have powerful rebel candidates in different corners of Karnataka. So it may not be a concentrated vote share like last time or the previous elections. So that is something that we need to keep in mind. The fact that they retain their 18, 19, 20% would not certainly mean 35 seats or 40 seats.
So tell me, there's just one question that I want to pose perhaps to you as well as to the rest of the panelists. What is really, how do we define a hung assembly in Karnataka? I mean, is it purely that one party doesn't cross a majority? Because whenever the BJP has won an election, it's not crossed a majority, but it's come close to the majority mark of 104 or 110 seats that's down there. So if, let's say, X party comes close to 110 seats, in Karnataka's parlance, do we then consider it not as a hung assembly?
No, but it would be in any case because the Congress, when they have won, they have been able to go through that.
No, that's as far as the Congress is concerned. But the question really is that when you say that a chief minister has not completed term, it's not primarily because the numbers were not there. It's also because of the internal contradictions in the BJP that you didn't have Yediyurappa.
True, like Mr. Yediyurappa, 4-time chief minister and has never been able to complete his term.
The Veera's question on what is considered as a hung assembly in Karnataka. See, I would put it this way. If the Congress gets 120, it's still a hung assembly. If the BJP gets 110 or 100, they're still in a striking distance. That is the
kind of point I was trying to make.
That is basically because of their, other factors that are involved.
True,
but so their ability to sort of put,
the post-election factors. All right, more leads coming in. 3 for the Congress, 3 for the Bharatiya Janata Party at this moment. JDS at 1. So both the Congress and the BJP at this moment. All right, BJP now going up to 5 and the Congress at 3. JDS at 1. Very early leads.
These are not even results.
The usual health hazard that these are postal ballots.
I think
but the fact is,
it's all postal ballots.
It is the postal ballot, but the fact is these leads are coming.
No, but I think it's fair to say that the T20 match has now started.
Absolutely. The first ball,
the first couple of runs have been scored, but let's see if these are substantive.
5-4-1 at this moment.
Chandan, I just
10
wanted
leads
to
coming in.
Talk a little bit, and we haven't touched on this morning, on the importance. I'm just going to hold that. Let's just go across to our reporters first. My colleague Srija outside the residence of B.S. Yediyurappa, Pratibha outside the residence of Devi Gowda, but Sunil Prabhu joins us now first with some important news. Sunil, go ahead.
Well, as we speak, the Congress here is trying to ensure that whatever happens in terms of counting, they've sent a message to all the MLAs to be alert, to keep asking questions, to see that those ballots, the EVMs when they are opened, continue to, and that's the message that they want to ensure that it's completely tamper-proof. So that's something that they have asked all the agents to be absolutely careful. As we've been speaking, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar still extremely confident. He's been monitoring and taking note and speaking to all the coordinators across the state. He's been the PCC chief and been working very, very closely to ensure that come what may, the Congress should not let its guard down at this present juncture.
Sunil, may I quickly, just one quick question, because yesterday there were a lot of news reports at the Congress this time, and they have possibly learned the lesson from what happened in Goa as well last time. Is the Congress party already, sending messages to their MLAs, whosoever wins, they would be taken out of the state or something? A lot of news reports of Hyderabad and other destinations already been looked at.
Well, that's something on the cards. At the present juncture, the Congress President, Mr. Kharge, says, I'm going to be here till the formation of the government. He's been quite clear that we will, take all necessary precautions. They're hoping, of course, for a thumping majority, but even then, since there has been talk of Operation Kamal, they will definitely, once the results are out, immediately ask the MLAs to come towards Bangalore, and then they will take stock of the situation if the numbers are extremely tight.
Right. Interesting.
So also go across to my colleague Srija. She's outside the residence of Mr. Yediyurappa. And in case you've just joined us, what you are seeing on your screen is Leeds at this stage. But Mr. Bommai, the incumbent chief minister, we are told is at a temple at this stage. We've got a couple of images of that.
All the blessings you can get this day.
Mr. Bommai, of course, maintaining quite clearly that as far as he's concerned, the BJP is going to get a majority. But what you see now, Leeds, a large number of these would be postal ballots. In other words, members of the armed forces from outside the state, those government officials outside the country, those tend to get counted quickly. Many of these are ballots, not just through an electronic means, but it gets a bit confused later on when the first rounds start getting counted as well. So these are early signs. The BJP at 10, that's up 2 from last time. Remember, Leeds and not results. The Congress down 1 from last time, but wonderful images, Veera, of Mr. Bommai at a temple over there praying. All the parties saying that, look, as far as they are concerned, they're going to simple majority.
I think really maybe, we'll put this to the guests as well after we speak to Srija and Pratibha. Bommai, they're going to the temple, and I think before we go to Srija outside Yediyurappa's house, let's just quickly get in a word from the mood outside the JDS camp. Pratibha is there outside Kumaraswamy's at JDS headquarters, I believe, and Pratibha you're outside Devagowda's residence. Kumaraswamy has come out and spoken. What is the sense you're getting from the JDS? Is there a sense that, look, this game may be over at the moment, or are they still really genuinely hoping for something at the end of the day?
Well, in fact, when Mr. Kumaraswamy walked out and spoke to the media, he maintained an extremely cool demeanor. And that kind of suggests that the JDS is playing a wait-and-watch game while the T20 match is on. And the JDS leader Kumaraswamy did also mention that no overtures have been made by both the parties, but then he also made a statement claiming that he has to wait at least for about 2 or 3 hours to find out what will be JDS's next move. We are told that Mr. Kumaraswamy would be here at Mr. Devagowda's residence shortly, but right now what we also hear is that Kumaraswamy is at a temple seeking divine intervention, and perhaps Kumaraswamy is waiting that some hopes would really increase with respect to the JDS camp.
For an election which was fought in the name of gods, of course, by the end they will try and pull whatever favors they can. I was just talking to Sunil, and we were talking about Congress being very, very cautious this time. Actually, it's called something, Maya. Congress has launched an Operation Hasta to counter BJP's Operation Lotus. So already this time the Congress maneuvers are all out. What is this Operation Hasta? What does it mean?
I mean, it's so interesting that we've had the BJP saying whatever the election results, we've had Ara Ashok saying after that, we will start our operation. So the Congress obviously saying, we also will have our hand in it. We'll also not just let the lotus bloom where it wants.
I don't know if much of this is media or is it actually happening. I don't know. Let's talk
We
to
like
Srija.
headlines. We like headlines, right?
Let's go across to Srija, who's outside Yediyurappa's residence. And if there is something that defines, and one of the questions that was raised about is the importance of Yediyurappa. Srija, in a sense, Yediyurappa is the big coalition builder for the BJP, who has personal relationships across the JDS or the Congress, and if the party falls short of the numbers, he is perhaps the most important man. He may have retired from electoral politics, but he is perhaps the most important man and the one who could swing things in favor if the party falls short, if all parties fall short of a majority. Has anyone from the BJP come in the morning to see him? What is the sense you're getting about what he's doing right now?
Well, absolutely right. As you mentioned, Veera, he's been seen as the, indispensable for the BJP here, because for the BJP, it was always B.S. Yediyurappa. For Yediyurappa, it was the BJP. But now when you're asking if any leaders at all have visited him so far, unfortunately, no. It is still deserted right now. We've been waiting for a little over 2 to 3 hours now. And the only person probably that we've seen entering his residence, Kaveri, here in Bengaluru, is his PS, and nobody else. No leaders are here, and of course you have several of the candidates, especially in their constituencies. They are at the counting centers. But to speak about BJP leaders, what about the other leaders? None have actually made their way to B.S. Yediyurappa's residence just yet. But on the other hand, of course, you
Srija,
have
I'm interrupting
Mr.
you
Bommai,
now
who just spoke saying that
because for the rather uncharacteristic this thing that we are now going to be focusing not on Karnataka elections but on Bhangra.
That's true.
Because that's what is happening right now, where Arvind Gunasekara is at the Congress headquarters. Apparently there is Bhangra happening over there for Karnataka elections.
Imagine Arvind Gunasekara
And
reporting on
Arvind
Karnataka on
Gunasekara is
Bhangra.
known to be a very good Bhangra dancer. Who? Arvind Gunasekara.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He's just
He
about
should
to
do
start.
one for us.
Arvind, what's happening behind you?
It's unusual scenes in the Congress office, Vishnu, because we don't actually get to see such kind of celebrations in the Congress office whenever elections, it's a result day. And what we are seeing here is that celebration. Congress office is actually in a celebration mood, with the exit polls predicting a victory for Congress party in Karnataka Assembly elections. And that's where what we are seeing in the Congress office is that the party has already got into celebratory mode. Party workers from across the national capital have already started gathering here, though none of the senior leaders have started arriving here at the party office. But what we are seeing here is the party has made arrangement to ensure that the party office is upbeat here and the workers are actually celebrating. So just early trends have started kicking in, and that's why what we are seeing here is the party has already got into this celebratory mode. We are not sure how long this will go at the end of the day, whether the party will get to celebrate this victory, but the Congress party workers are confident with the exit polls and also with party's preparation and also the way the party conducted itself in the Karnataka State Assembly elections. And that's where what we are seeing is the Congress office in a celebratory mode, which we didn't see since 2014. Since 2014, the party has faced consecutive defeats, apart from barring few states. But what we are seeing here in Karnataka is that the party is very confident that they will get
Are there any Karnataka leaders there at that Bhangra, this one, Arvind?
Well, Congress would hope not. All of them should be in Bengaluru right now, trying to figure things out.
Delhi has not heard a voice like this outside the Congress headquarters for a very long time.
And Manisha ji, this also tells you how important this election is for the Congress party.
Yes, absolutely.
That's why there is that sense of excitement in the Congress that it also gives them that sense
Remember,
that...
for the Congress...
In 2018,
Yeah.
in 2018, when the results started coming in, the BJP at their office in Bengaluru began distributing sweets.
Yeah.
But by the end of the day, they had to kind of pack the sweet boxes away.
Remember the
This is very
memories-
early optimism.
No, so I think the BJP, this time you can see even through the campaign, the Congress has borrowed a lot of things from the BJP.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is one of them, that you declare victory even when victory hasn't come yet. Optics, absolutely.
I'll just, a little bit on this Sunil Konagulu, who's the one who's run the Congress's campaign in Karnataka, the campaign manager for the Congress. He's a guy who originally was with IPAC, then worked with MK Stalin, shifted to Edapadi Padichami. He ran APS's Tamil Nadu campaign and is now with the Congress. In the Congress now. He now ran the Congress campaign. So that campaign manager thing, the concerted campaign, a lot of things that they borrowed.
This is also an election where the Congress party has been able to match the BJP in terms of resources as well. Karnataka is one state where at least the Congress had those resources to match the BJP. I was talking to him. He said, with the kind of social media campaign that they were able to launch, we can't disclose a number, but the numbers are staggering. It's not that the BJP has run away with that. It's not 1 rupee to 100 rupee being spent.
Having said that, the one thing, Aarti, is also that the sense that I get is that the Congress in Delhi was more confident than the Congress in Karnataka.
It is the Delhi Congress that had Sunil Konagulu do the campaign.
Yeah.
The state leaders had their own social media teams.
Yeah.
The state Congress had its own.
And Sunil now is already concentrating on 2 other states for the Congress party.
I just wanted to focus a little bit on some interesting leads coming in. We're going to talk a little bit about postal leads. We'll have a look at round leads and then total leads. Once again, these are leads and these are not results. But if you take a look, and it's happening very fast, which is what's making it interesting. Postal leads at this stage, the BJP at 25, and they've got 57% of the postal leads right now. The round leads, in other words, after 2 rounds for the BJP, their total leads are at 27. Now, if you look at postal leads for the Congress, they are at 14, and I beg your pardon, total leads at 20, and these numbers keep changing. But postal leads
Congress
of
now
that
gone up to 24.
are 14. Okay, the Congress has gone up to 24, as you can see on your screen over there. The JDS is at 6. At this stage, they were at the same earlier on.
So basically what it tells you, just very quickly, what it tells you is that the EVMs have also been opened, the postal ballots have also been opened.
Because round leads refers
the round
to
leads are the EVMs, and the postal ballot is, of course, the postal ballot which are being counted. But interestingly, at this moment, the JDS, all the leads that the JDS has got is from the postal leads. The 13% leads that they have got is from the postal leads, 6 of them coming in. For the Congress and the BJP, EVM leads have also started coming
and
in.
75%
constituencies.
75% Veera of the round leads have gone to the Congress so far and to the BJP presently. So 75% of the leads over rounds and not postal
on
leads
EVMs.
On EVMs have gone to the Congress so far and the BJP at
So
early
interesting,
days, but still, yeah.
very, very early. But interestingly, I'm just pointing out to the for our analysts as well, the seats that are reporting, some of the seats that are reporting. Attorney, where you have Lakshman Sabdi taking on Mahesh Kumthali, which is you remember Mahesh Kumthali was the guy who won from the Congress ticket in 2018. He shifted over to the BJP. When the government was formed, Lakshman Sabdi was made Deputy Chief Minister, later dropped. He lost the election in 2019 to Mahesh Kumthali, who shifted over. And you know, so Mahesh Kumthali won the election again in 2019, and this time it's a contest between the two of them. In Atni, the BJP is leading at the moment. These may change.
It's important to point out that Athani was, it was a very narrow margin victory for Kumtahalli last time.
Correct.
So he has shifted parties. So it's still not a.
No, in 2019 he won hands down.
With a small margin.
That's a small margin.
In 2018 he beat Lakshman Sabdi by a small margin.
May I very quickly give an update on the leads which are coming in? Very interesting, these leads which have now brought the Congress. 10 leads for the Congress is coming from the EVMs. 21 from the postal ballots, total leads for the Congress 31. For the Bharatiya Janata Party, 3 leads coming in from the EVMs, 27 from the postal ballot, so that takes it to 30. JDS, all 12 from the postal ballot. So things are going to change very, very quickly, but at least at the very, very initial leads which are coming in from the EVMs, the Congress at 10, the BJP at 3 at this moment.
Just flagging off now, sorry Vishnu, just flagging off now. Very early stages, I don't want to say anything, but Chitapur, BJP is leading according to this data at the moment. It could be just postal ballots. Chitapur is Priyank Kharge's constituency. I'm just looking at 3 constituencies. Channapatna, you got the JDS leading clearly. That's right. Kumaraswamy's constituency against CP Yogeshwar, you got JDS leading.
Okay, so very quickly, Sugata, if I can very quickly bring you in, for Priyank Kharge, even when we were on the ground, there were murmurs that he's in a very tight race as far as Mr. Kharge is concerned. This is the 3rd time that he's fighting the election, so there is fair bit of anti-incumbency as an MLA as well, but possibly in his constituency. Important what will happen in his constituency as well.
Absolutely, because he's been put up against a guy who's,
I'm just going to do that.
As a kind of, he has a Muslim reputation, Rathod. And Kharge, Priyank Kharge Jr., he has always sort of won on small margins. And the first time he contested, I think he lost. So I think 2 elections he's won, but this 3rd one, it was predicted to be a very narrow thing.
Sure. Right. I just wanted to go across to RT.
And Modi cancelled his rally there because, my guess is that he didn't want to be sitting next to the BJP candidate who is
look at this graphic over here, RT, and if you can just go through this for a moment with me on your screen, right in front of you over here. These are round leads, and there are postal ballots, postal leads as well. Now, postal leads, it's 27 postal leads for the BJP, 21 to the Congress, so 45% and 35% respectively. The JDS at 20% of all postal leads. But round leads, which is the more significant one numerically, the Congress presently at 10, And ultimately it will be the round leads which will have a much greater say, obviously. 71%
Right.
of round
okay,
leads.
Vishnu, we have
Half a
Priyanka.
second, can I finish my 71% of all round leads so far have gone to the Congress, and the BJP at 29%. We've got Priyank Kharge with us.
That's right.
Veera.
Priyank, nervous start to the day for you?
Well, it's just the beginning. We have another 14 rounds to go, and I'm sure that we'll cross the 120 mark sooner than later.
What was the defining feature of this campaign for you? What was the defining feature of the Congress campaign for you?
No, I think one was we were well prepared. The narratives that we set stuck with the government, whether it's the 40% Sarkar or the PCM campaign or the Kivi Mele Uva campaign. People were fed up, and we were able to ride on that. And the scams that they got out, especially with respect to unemployment, I think that is something that the BJP misread completely. And I think we capitalize on that narrative building quite efficiently. And the 5 guarantees that we have given, which will help households economically to get their monthly expenses some kind of stability. I think these two were two of the biggest game changers for us.
Priyank, I just wanted to ask you about round leads because, postal leads numerically would be much smaller. It's at the moment 27 leads in postal ballots to the BJP, 21 to the Congress. But I think it's the round leads which is quite interesting at this stage, because according to the data which we have right now, the Congress ahead in 10 round leads, or 77% of all the round leads which have been counted, whereas the BJP up in 3 or 23%. So that is significant. It's very early. Veera, any idea about where these leads are coming in from?
Which ones?
But go ahead, Priyank, make your point and then.
See, there is a very strong undercurrent against this government. And I think that is being reflected and will be reflected probably in a couple of hours. If you see that the coastal area has had more than close to around 1.5% dip in their voting, whereas Kalyan Karnataka region has had over 2% increase in voting. These are the coastal Karnataka is traditionally the vote bank of the BJP, while Kalyan Karnataka is more favorable to Congress.
Priyank, may I ask you, at this moment, yes, it's very, very early leads, but at this moment, at least in your constituency, it shows that you are trailing a bit. This is, of course, going to change in the next, course of few hours. It may or may not, but I want to ask you, how difficult was this campaign personally for you? It's a little bit of anti-incumbency. You are fighting the election. You will be fighting the election for the 4th time. 2 times you've already been an MLA from this constituency. How tough has this campaign been for you personally?
Well, locally there wasn't much of a challenge, but the challenge comes in with the RSS and BJP backing the local candidate heavily. And considering that I have the habit of speaking out loud, I think that's the reaction to the action that we have exposed. See, most of the scams that have been exposed was by me, whether it was the Bitcoin scam, whether it's the PSI, the assistant engineering in PWD. So a whole host of more than 9 to 10 scams were exposed by me. So it's quite natural that I was targeted, and but the people of Sitapur have been kind enough, and I'm sure that they'll bless me again.
Do you think your remarks on Prime Minister, they played some sort of a role, because that was picked up by the BJP in a very, very big way? You got an election commission notice for that as well.
Well, that happened 10 days back, but the BJP and the RSS have been targeting me for over close to around 8 to 12 months now. So I don't think that had anything to do with this.
All right. Well, Priyank, I'm sure, bring that smile back on your face, Priyank. It's still
hidden underneath his beard.
It's hidden underneath. It's hidden underneath your beard, but it's early days yet for you and your constituency and the Congress as well. In fact, if you look at round leads, it's interesting.
Sorry?
But
Go ahead,
by
Gyan.
evening, I'm sure you'll have me beaming. Don't worry.
All right, good stuff. Well, the BJP leader Karuna Gopal joins us at this stage. Karuna, very early days yet. Are you going to stick to that time-tested line of the BJP, or for that matter, any political parties, that we're winning a simple majority? Or do you believe you should now start looking at some of the round leads, some of the postal leads, and get an idea of the trends? Because if you look at the round leads, the BJP is a bit below, and that's going to form, you know, the crux of these elections, the basis of these elections. Karuna.
Vishnu, you did say it's still early days,
Very,
so
very early.
I would like to certainly stick to our party is going to be the, you know, leading party. We will have, certainly will cross what is really required to form the government. I'm not saying it just like that, Vishnu. I was on the ground, I campaigned there, I saw the mood of the people. I saw how people were rooting for Modi ji, and also the 73% voter turnout is definitely in our favor, 100%. Another important thing that I'd like to say is, we have looked at things in a very, in both ways. Like, one is the strategic level and tactical. If you understand that our strategy historically has been quite sensible, in the sense that look at our governance. Much as Congress would like to say that they built a narrative. They built a narrative, perhaps it's a propaganda that it's a 40% commission, etc. Right. But seriously, they had no evidence at all. Right. But at a strategic level, I think our governance was really good. If you see during COVID time, I mean, what the control command centers that were done were repurposed, and we managed it so brilliantly. FDI is high, infrastructure is high. Practically, people are very happy with the scholarships they're getting, so they were rooting for it. The second strategic thing, Vishnu,
Karuna, may I just interrupt you a little bit, just to look at the numbers and the statistics that's coming out now, given that the election campaign is over, and at the moment it's the focus on what kind of numbers are coming out. 62, when you say Congress up 13, it primarily means that in 13 seats that was won by the BJP in 2018, the Congress is now leading in 13 of them. So the Congress up by 13 seats. The BJP, when you say it's down by 5, it means that in 5 of the seats that it won in 2018, it's trailing in that. And JDS is down by 7. So the initial indication, just pointing this out, saying 65 seats, Congress up by 12, 62 amongst the seats that are reporting. So I think primarily it's the seats that the BJP won in 2018 that are largely reporting at the moment. Perhaps you'll get a clearer picture as we go along in the day, just to make sense of the numbers that are going down on this one. So Karuna, is there a sense, when you see these numbers right now, I know it's early days, is there a sense of nervousness that's setting in? Or,
No, absolutely not. In fact, there is no nervousness at all. For instance, last time we noticed that some of the seats were lost with a terribly narrow margin, like 5,000 votes or 7,000 votes. And these are the seats where we're going to win definitely this time. And, our action in terms of if you know that BJP is a very well-oiled machine, especially at the tactical level. And in the last minute, we have ensure that our people move to the polling booths. So we are absolutely confident. And also the urban, the numbers might look not very encouraging, like 54% just in the urban Karnataka. But, this audience is quite they're fence sitters, they're skeptical, they analyze a lot. But I think with Modi ji being there, they got a sense of our, vision for the country, etc. And I am 100%
Okay, Karuna,
sure.
I'm just interrupting you now because I wanted to go across to Aarti and, understand the number situation over here. I think we are beyond that stage of early days. I think it's happening terribly fast at this stage. But if you look at the Congress and the BJP, 68 and 61, remember the majority mark is 113. Out of 224 is what we are looking at. Now, these are leads, not results by any means. But Aarti, if you consider what's happening now, clearly the Congress on the ascendancy, but it's still quite close between the two.
It's still postal ballots, I was told, Vishnu.
No, these are
EVMs have also started.
Already started coming in.
So what is the tally in the EVM rounds?
So the EVM rounds at this moment, the Congress leading on 29, the BJP on 21 at this moment, and the JDS on 5 in the EVM rounds. In the second round for the EVMs have also started in few of the constituencies.
So it's still a very close battle, and I think that it would be hasty to draw any kind of conclusions. But I mean,
30-21 right now. In terms of round leads.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
But the edge is with the Congress, as predicted by all exit polls.
And you know what's interesting, Aarti? Sorry to interrupt you, because I'm just getting these updates constantly. It's 41-41 as far as postal leads right now are concerned.
Yeah.
But it's really too early, given that Karnataka is a state where the margins are traditionally low, very low. I think until about 11 o'clock, you can't even start making assumptions on the kind of trend that's coming, unless it's like a categorical, clear trend.
Absolutely.
Which is not emerging at the moment.
Not as yet, but hopefully maybe in about, since it's happening so fast, and I'm really surprised because we've sometimes sat here until 10 o'clock, we haven't got any kind of EVM leads.
It's 8:30 in the morning. Remember how painful in some seats in the northeast it was? Where it took a lot of time and we didn't get a clear. You wanted to have a point, Sergeant?
Also remember in 2018 that even the trends were suggesting that the BJP would cross the halfway mark quite easily, and then later as the day progressed, you realized that they're actually going to fall short, and there was a.
I think it will take by 10 o'clock for some sort of a clear, message coming there. But Professor Gaura, with the kind of whatever the numbers are coming, of course, these numbers are going to firm up in a short while from now. In the last election, about 70 seats were decided in less than 10% margin of the total votes polled. Between 10% margin of the votes polled, so it could have been between 5 to 10,000, or even lesser than that. Largely looking at that, it would be for this election, and viewing by the historical data, many seats which are the close seats that are possibly going to have the final say as far as this election is concerned, and that would be later in the day that we would know which way are they falling.
You're right. All along people had kept saying this election is truly about 45 seats. Because other things you can surely call as to going this way or that way. And these 45 seats are precisely where you had narrow margins and very fierce three-way contests, which could actually bring down the margin this time even more if it had been genuinely a three-way contest.
That could be the difference between anybody getting a clear majority or not. Those 45 seats, of course.
So,
absolutely.
Ankit, there were margin of victory seats, which I think if we could pull up the map, we had mapped the margin of victory seats, seats where the margin of victory was less than 5,000 votes.
25
in the last election.
25 seats.
25 seats.
No, there were about, that's right. I'm not sure of the number. We have a graphic up there. So the general thing that one is picking up at the moment, for instance, you see a Hassan where the JDS is, Hassan actually BJP is at the moment leading. I mean, I'm not sure. It might be. Yeah, it's too early in the day. But in general, one needs to wait to see the region-wise reporting of seats that come in.
But let's just very quickly give a sense of the numbers at this moment, because it is changing. The Congress at this moment at 81, that includes 37 EVM leads, 44 postal ballot leads, 21 for the BJP, for the EVM leads, 42 postal ballots, 63 for the Bharatiya Janata Party, 5 of the round leads for the JDS, 12 from the postal ballots. Total, it's coming down to be about 17. Then there is one independent candidate who's got one vote, one postal lead as well. But overall, if you look at it, the Congress stands at 81 and 59%. 82 now, as far as the Congress is concerned. So very quickly, in terms of the round leads, there you see some sort of a shift which is taking place as far as these political parties are concerned, with Congress consolidating a little bit on the round leads.
Look at a constituency like Babaleshwar, where MB Patil, the Congress's Lingayat face, is contesting the election. 17.3% is what it's showing, Congress leading. I think, initially the trends in that safe seats of the Congress, I think they're doing okay. In the safe seats of the BJP, they seem to be doing. In the core safe seats of the JDS, which is your Channapatna or your Ramnagara, they seem to be okay at the moment.
Is there something coming in from Bengaluru as well? Because that is going to be an interesting constituency, because the Prime Minister put in so much effort as far as Bengaluru is concerned. So, I would be interested. Last time also, the Congress won more, but the three defections from the Congress party from Bengaluru, all of them won on the BJP ticket as well.
So, in Baitra and Pura, where you have Krishna Bairagowda contesting, the Congress is ahead. In CV Raman Nagar, the Congress is ahead. I'm trying to search for Padmanabh Nagar or one of the strong BJP seats, Malleshwaram or Padmanabh Nagar. If we can spot to one of them out, we'll have an idea as to how that's playing out. I'm also specifically looking for 2-3 seats. One is Hubli Dharwad Central, which doesn't seem to be reporting as yet. I still don't have it in my... in Koratagere, where Parmeshwara is contesting, at the moment the Congress seems to be ahead.
These are shots of the
postal ballots being sorted,
being sorted out.
May I say something about Bengaluru? The voter turnout in Bengaluru this time was very low. And in fact, even lower this time than it was last time. So, Prime Minister Modi put in so much effort. 2 days of road shows with all that tamasha and everything. And clearly it did not enthuse voters enough to come out and vote. That's why the voter turnout was so low in Bengaluru this time.
Bengaluru always has a pretty
No, but
poor
this time
record
it was even lower than last time. See, despite the kind of effort that went in by the BJP, so it didn't move the voters at all.
And you'll appreciate this. Mandya, Congress leading. Mandya, I'm talking of the Mandya seat. Mandya is a district with 7 seats, which was all swept by the JDS last time. This time, Mandya Congress is leading. I'm looking for Malur, Congress is leading. Malavalli, Congress is leading.
Yeah, Malavalli
there's a rebel candidate in Mandya.
Yeah.
So JDS rebel candidate is contesting. So it's
they're fighting their internal battles. So for Mangalore, I think UT Khadar's seat, Mangalore Congress seems to be leading at the moment.
It will be but interesting in Mandya, the Congress, if it wins any seats there, it will be almost making sort of a comeback as far as this district is concerned. Last time it was, I think, swept by the JDS.
7 of 7 seats was won by the JDS in 2018.
Okay, let's go straight across to Pratap Kanagal of the JDS, Adil Bopara and Karuna of the Congress Party, and Karuna Gopal of the BJP with us. Adil, your sense of the early numbers coming in, it seems to indicate that the Congress is up at this stage at 85. That's up 20 from last time around. These are leads, and these are leads only, no results so far, but they do include postal ballots and they do include a few round votes as well. So is it too early in your mind to draw any conclusions about where this is headed, or do you believe that this is showing a decisive lead for you at this stage?
Well, Vishnu, good morning. I think the writing is on the wall. The people of Karnataka have decided to vote out the incumbent. The Congress party, I don't want to jump the gun, but the Congress party will have a decisive mandate in its favor. We are going to be crossing 130 seats, and pressing issues such as inflation, such as corruption, unemployment have resonated with the masses. My estimate is that it's still the first round, but the leads will solidify as the day progresses. I think by 11 a.m., 11:30, the leads will solidify, and our very spirited campaign will bear fruit.
If I may very quickly, Maya just a short while back was telling us that last time the BJP had started early distribution of sweets, didn't work out for them. Congress headquarters after a very long time will pull those shots out. People are dancing. Bhangra is happening there. So would you want to tell them to stop before a decisive lead
Adil,
or a trend comes in?
We're talking about Karnataka elections, but it just goes to show that Bhangra is as much a Karnataka dance as it
universal
is. It's universal, absolutely.
Well, absolutely. We are keeping our fingers crossed, but the report and the feedback from the ground is very, very positive. I think the 40% Commission Sarkar, the people are repelled by the 40% Commission Sarkar, and we are very hopeful for a very decisive mandate in our favor.
Can I just go across to Pratap Kanagal? Mr. Kanagal, again, qualifying this very carefully, early, etc., but you're actually down 10. And considering that you are a smaller party in certain senses, and the other two that you were looking to consolidate your vote, in the old Mysuru region, etc., etc. If you're down 10 at this stage, then is there a real concern that your core area in, for example, old Mysuru may have been, you may be losing over there to some of the other parties, possibly the Congress?
Good morning. First of all, as we it's like it's too early for to conclude on anything. With the last election, it was almost like at 2:33 o'clock. It was showing 130 leads for BJP, but then it was everything got changed. And secondly, JDS, the four voters are from the rural side, and it may be so what? I'm sure that we will improve our numbers, and we will increase the numbers compared to the previous election. That's the ground report.
Quickly, just pointing out a couple of seats that are coming up as well, just in the interest of analysts. Again, we are qualifying these maybe early, very early. You've seen the numbers on your screen. That basically means 85 seats out of the 20 seats that BJP won last time. The Congress is actually, gaining those seats. In 74 of the BJP seats, they are down by 11 seats, which means 11 of the seats that they won in 2018. Just to make sense of the numbers, again qualifying that these are very early trends. But Veera, let's wait and watch. One second.
JDS going down is significant.
Yes, it is significant, Vishnu. But let's just wait. This down and up can change.
No. We know that. We know that. We are disputing that.
Yeah, what we have right now. I'm just putting out some of the interesting seats that I'm seeing pointing here. Gangavati. This is where Janardhan Reddy is contesting from, where he is leading. Gokak, where you have Satish Jarkioli, the great Jarkioli brothers, one who shifted from Congress to the BJP. They are the ones. The reason why Lakshman Sabdi had to leave the party, because Mahesh Kumtali was close to the Jarkioli family. There the BJP is leading. As we pointed out earlier, Chitapur, the Congress is still trailing. These are some interesting seats that are reporting. I think Bangalore, you asked me a question on Bangalore there, Ankit. I think Bangalore, largely the seats are remaining with who it is.
Can I ask you one subsidiary question on Bangalore? One interesting person, Mr. V. Somanna, who is fighting against Mr. Siddaramaiah in Varuna. He won from the Govind Raj seat, if I'm not mistaken, last time. That seat is being given to somebody else this time. He is now fighting from Chamarajnagar and, of course, from Varuna. So, taking him out of that equation, there are 3 seats which are going to be impacted. What's the sense there in all those 3 seats, Varuna, Chamarajnagar and Govind Rajnagar?
You're asking me?
Yeah, if there is.
No, so we still don't have that kind of data. But interesting that you point this out. And Shugata has been saying all along that Siddaramaiah wins with a close margin always. Siddaramaiah, last time as well in Badami, the margin of victory was less than 5,000 votes. That is there.
1,600 or 1,800.
8 as well. So in Varuna, my sense was that when R. Ashok was fielded in Kanakpura, I think that was more of a token gesture battle, because they needed somebody strong from the BJP in terms of optics to take on DK Shivkumar. And I think it was primarily optics that led to V. Somanna as well contesting from Varuna. I don't know what the consequences are going to be, but his own consequences.
Most of them have been given second seats. They've been given a seat for their safety.
Yeah, but I just want to ask that. Taking Mr. V. Somanna out from his Bengaluru seat, giving him a new seat this time, and then, of course, putting him in a contest against Mr. Siddaramaiah, BJP is more or less at this moment potentially is looking at putting all these 3 seats in danger. I mean, in that sense.
No, you could look at it the other way around as well, which is, Varuna seats, although it's in the old Mysore region, the voters there, the caste of the voters is fairly distributed. There are Lingayat voters, there are Kuruba voters, there are Okkaliga voters, the Dalit voters. And, it's if you corner, arithmetically, if you corner a certain section, then it's likely that you will win.
Yeah.
And Somanna, if I may remind you, when Siddaramaiah contested the Chamundeshwari election, when he crossed over to the Congress, he was managing the campaign for Siddaramaiah. So he knows his onions or his game very, very well.
It's only reporting 2.9% at the moment, which means it's very, very early. But Chamarajnagar, the Congress is leading.
Yeah.
Most exit polls, and I was talking to a few of them, are at this moment, and I'm telling you, they said that Mr. Somana could possibly lose all, both the seats, and then of course,
can I also
taking out of Bengaluru could cost the BJP that seat as well.
One interesting statistic, Maya, Virajpet, right, Karnataka South, has already moved into its second round of leads counting. The point I'm trying to make is that this is actually happening phenomenally fast by recent elections.
And who's leading?
Oh yes,
the BJP is leading as of a few minutes back. As of a few minutes back, the BJP was leading over there.
Vishnu, we also have that region-wise breakup that you're talking about in terms of leads and shares. That's South Karnataka. What you have on your screen West is primarily coastal Karnataka, North and
this
South
is important
Karnataka,
because let's just go through
this.
Where
the BJP is up in 18. This is the BJP bastion. Okay, this is BJP is up in 18, but it's
they're down from last time around.
Down
in their bastion,
strong seats. Congress is up by
No, but let's talk about West for a moment. Aarti, would you like to come in over here? Again, qualified, saying all of that. But this was the area where the BJP was expected to dominate, retain. If they're down 5 in this area, with the Congress making inroads, how significant, Aarti, is it?
Well, I think we have to wait for these trends to really consolidate. I would say it's a little early because this is a BJP stronghold. And, the BJP is traditionally, it's kind of almost controls that area, But yes, if the Congress has managed to make inroads, I think it suggests a very strong degree of anti-incumbency.
Round leads is now more than postal leads.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving away from that.
Anti-Hindutva, but just anti-incumbency against the government.
So here is coastal Karnataka. Coastal Karnataka is a place, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sanjal, where you had written a piece on the caste vote maybe splitting in coastal Karnataka and the Congress making some kind of gains in that region.
Yes, I think there was, on the ground, there is a lot of dissatisfaction with the state level leadership. And that has to come down to certain OBC groups like the Bilavas who feel that they've been left out and not given enough share of the political power.
And this is also where a lot of candidates were replaced by the BJP.
Yes.
So this is part of that experiment.
Okay, so I wanted to comment, but this is where also a lot of people throughout the campaign kept talking about when Bajrang Bali and all those issues were raised, that this is the place where it will have the maximum impact. The BJP would be able to maximize it. But the other counter to that was possibly the minority vote, which used to get split between the Congress and the SDPI, would consolidate behind the Congress, which could give the Congress gains. And we are seeing 3 gains at least at this moment for the Congress party in this region.
Probably the BJP knew that it was losing its space, and therefore they gave them the Bajrang Dal issues in order to retain what was quickly sliding away. But I'm really interested in those 2 other seats that you were showing, which are gain for the JDS, because I suspect it must be Kumta and Mangalore North, where Mangalore North is a rebel candidate of the Congress.
So you're talking about the West, right?
No, it's a coastal
Karnataka.
Yeah,
they're up in 2 because they're down in every other location.
Right, and let's also look now at Hyderabad.
See, the two is very interesting.
That's very interesting.
I suspect it's Kumta.
And then I saw an interesting graphic on Hyderabad, Karnataka as well, where the Congress is gaining. Look,
this is the stronghold.
This is the BJP stronghold. This is the BJP stronghold, and now this is Hyderabad, Karnataka, which is the even-Steven game.
Yeah.
Look, Hyderabad, Karnataka, it can, if it switches over to one side, it can be the. Look at that.
No, but this is very interesting because I've actually got an update to this number from Kalyan or Hyderabad, Karnataka, as it was known. The Congress leading in 21 over here, which is up 6.
Yeah.
Right. And the BJP is down 5 over here. Let's just keep shifting from region to region once for the benefit of our viewers. And then, so this is the Kalyan region, as we mentioned over there. I've got it actually 1 seat more than that because I'm in Kittur. The BJP. Let me just go through the graphics once before we analyze it. Let our viewers understand what exactly it is. Where the BJP is down 3 in the Kittur area, the 48 seats over here, leads and 39, repeat leads. The BJP is down 3, the Congress is up 4, it's even Stevens in this area. Let's go to the next area. This we've just gone through. Let's just go to South. And this is interesting because this, of all of the areas, is where the Congress has been making its most decisive, we don't know if decisive or not, but its most significant gains from last time around.
Largely at the cost of the JDS.
Both BJP
and let's just go to the final region. Before I know we want to analyze this, but let's just, for the benefit of our viewers, just go through these areas once. Bangalore, leads for the BJP and 4, the Congress down 1 over here in Bangalore. So that's just in Bangalore itself. I think we've gone through all the regions.
So the takeaway really,
is the south.
No, it's not just the south. Look at Bangalore, where the JDS in 2018, out of the urban seats of Bangalore, the BJP won 11, the Congress won 15, and the JDS won 2. Now, I can't understand
BJP is up 4.
BJP is picking up 4 seats. I'm not sure how that...
No,
that includes possibly Bangalore rural as well.
No, but also this is different. Congress won 15, but then of course...
We're talking of seats that shifted in 2019.
It switched as well.
So this is the most important, as you're pointing out, where the Congress is gaining both from the BJP and the JDS.
Let's just get our analysts in also as well. Maya, let's just talk a little bit about the south. How do you analyze these leads?
I mean, it's very interesting because this is Congress JDS. We've been talking about that. The JDS clearly losing out here, clearly not doing as well as it had hoped when they were talking about the numbers and how significant they would be. They would definitely have been counting on the south part of Karnataka. And if they're losing here with a clear gain for the Congress, then we're looking at maybe a smaller role for the JDS after the election results are in.
This is pretty much what most of the exit polls seem to be suggesting, that the JDS seems to be contained in these elections. Are we seeing these gains that we see? You see the BJP in South Karnataka. When you're talking of BJP losing seats in South Karnataka, you're talking BJP has its stronghold, right? When we talk, the problem is when you talk of South Karnataka or Old Mysore region, it has two parts. One is the Kaveri Delta region, the Kaveri River Basin region, which is the JDS bastion, and then you have the other areas like Shimoga and other places, which is BJP, is a huge thing. So, is this what we are looking at? Are we looking at BJP perhaps making gains in terms of vote shares in the JDS heartland, and that translating into something beneficial for the Congress? Several exit polls seem to be suggesting.
No, the Congress could have gained substantially, and the JD and the BJP may have sort of swung a 2 or 3% vote towards themselves. So that will make a dent on JDS. So I mean, if both the national parties take away a bit, so obviously they're going to come down.
As of 9 a.m., I'm just coming to you. As of 9 a.m., one thing is very clear when you go through through all these regions and the map at this moment. Congress more or less is leading or gaining from in almost every region. BJP is slipping almost in every region. Because this Bengaluru data could slightly be difficult because they won 15, then they were brought down to 12. Two important at this moment information coming in from the Bhatkal constituency. The BJP at this moment is in the lead. And from the Chamarajnagar constituency, the BJP is trailing. So Mr. Somana is trailing. Professor Gaurav, you wanted to make a point. Go ahead.
No, the BJP taking away votes in the Old Mysore region, it takes from both parties.
Yeah.
It's not just the JDS losing its vote. They are making little gains. They're not making big gains, but the gains come from both sources.
But that would be encouraging, looking at future for the Bharatiya Janata Party. This is encouraging. This used to be the Achilles heel as far as the BJP is concerned. If in this region they start gaining any traction, that would, as I was telling earlier, then this election largely, the Karnataka largely becomes a bipolar state with the regional player being reduced to the margins.
But I still feel the BJP will be a very distant third in the Old Mysore region.
So, just to add a word of caution to everyone, Atani, where we were mentioning, Lakshman Sabdi trailing, it now is reporting Congress leading. So it's a very close fight in Atani, and that's a prestige battle. I have 4 indicator seats for these elections, Vishnu. One is Hubli Dharwad Central, and that will show you whether it's the BJP's party that's stronger or the candidate that's stronger. Atani, where can somebody like Lakshman Sabdi shifting from the BJP to the Congress, can that result in some change? Bellary, I was looking at very closely, primarily on B. Sriramalu, whether there has been a split in that old, internal contradiction within the BJP, how that's going to play out. And then, down south, you look at a seat like Mandya, which is very important because on whether the Congress is actually making gains. These would sort of give you a large picture.
What I wanted to actually do is take a look at that strike rate graphic again. If we can just bring up that strike rate graphic again, as the Congress moves to leads of 98, nearing that 100 mark. Remember, 113, they're just 15 away in terms of that, with leads reaching that halfway mark. Now, if you look at the strike rate, currently 98 seats for the Congress, they need just 15 of the remaining 20 which are left. Their current strike rate is 48. They need to up that to about 75%, but they are better placed than the other parties. Now, this is just leads. If you take a look at the strike rate of the BJP, they require 33 to get a simple majority, but there are only 20 left in terms of leads for counting. So their required strike rate is 165. Now, these numbers are beyond the point are notional, but it just gives you an indicator of how difficult it is. The JDS is a current strike rate of 12%. They were never going to win these elections by themselves, but if they were, they would need a further 88 seats, only 20 left. So I think it's that Congress number which we really need to look at closely. Congress plus, Congress and its allies, they need 16 of 19. The current strike rate is 47%. They need 84. So again, if these leads do translate to results, they may still be short slightly.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, we'll have to wait.
But
I think
if these if these leads translate to results, they might still be slightly short.
But it's just 136 leads so far. I mean, as far as the EVMs are concerned.
Yeah.
So that's still.
Shugato?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I agree with you, Vishnu. I think even if this thing translates into actual seats, they may be in the range of 110, 112 is what I feel.
Right.
So, you see, that's the kind of...
so within striking range, but it's not going to be a walk in the park.
You're saying out of the seats that are reporting, you're already at 97, right? You still got to wait for 206 of 224 are reporting.
Yeah.
Right? So you still have 26.
No, we are essentially speculating, trying to sort of...
Correct.
If the leads were to be solidify into results, then the Congress's strike rate at this stage, based on the graphics which we just had up, is marginally short of what they would actually need of forming a government on their own, right?
So it would be like the 2018 election where the Congress becomes the single largest
the
party.
Congress needs to have leads or results. I mean, ideally results in 15 of the 7 if the leads actually do become results. So in that there will be a variable.
Yes.
But the point is in terms of trends, because I think now we can safely start looking at what the broader trends are. The trends indicate that the Congress might be in striking range and not in range for a sweep, Aarti. Would you agree?
Yeah, so it looks, but I think you're still, I mean, I think about 90 of these are still postal ballots.
Yeah. There are more leads, more rounds now than
for the Congress at this
earlier, but there's still 90 which are postal ballots, and I really don't put very much store on my postal ballots.
So they've scored a century in terms of leads.
Yeah.
This is like your exit poll day evening, where you start off, you think it's going to be hung, you don't know how it's going to play out. Let's wait for a little more time, we'll get clarity.
I think we need to wait a little longer. And the great thing is that Karnataka is producing results much faster than other states. I mean, I have been on election shows where we've had to wait till 10, 11 before we start.
I think it's also got to do
high tech, that's right.
No, but it's also got to do that Karnataka was one phase election. That also makes a difference because that is how the EVMs are opened. If there is phase-wise counting, then that is how it is. It also delays if the elections take too many phases.
We'll quickly get Pratap Kanagal of the JDS as well to respond to how he's seeing the numbers playing out at the moment. Pratap, if you can hear me, what's the sense you're making out? It seems a little worrying for the JDS at the moment. 23 leads. Out of that, you're down 12 from where you are. Are you expecting to settle between the 20 to 25 mark?
No, definitely not. We are confident that we will cross 40 minimum. That's for sure. This, as someone mentioned, it's as of now, it's most of the leads are from the postal votes, and still we will wait. By the time I think maybe by 12:30, 1 o'clock, we'll have a clear idea.
Okay.
Every election, it's JDS.
Okay, you've got a bit of a problem with your line. I'll come back to Mr. Kanagal in a moment. Let me go across to Rajiv Gowda of the Congress party who's with us. If you take a look at the lead situation for the Congress, you're at 103. Firstly, we just want to not get ahead of ourselves, Mr. Gowda, because there are postal ballots as well. But there are a couple of second round voting that is taking place. Based on postal ballots and first and second round voting at EVMs, do you believe you are going to touch the magic mark by yourselves or fall just short of it?
I think the trends are in the right direction, Vishnu. and basically we are confident of getting a majority. It's, as you said, it's a little early, and we will wait for a couple of hours before trends crystallize.
Are you satisfied with where you are presently, or do you believe that in terms of leads, you would have liked to have seen yourself somewhat better?
We would certainly like to be at least, we should already having a majority by this time, but
that's important.
It's trending in the right direction. So there's no need for us to get super excited.
What is interesting is that just one more point, Veera, before I come to you. If you look at the West, and let's have a graphic, if we can, of Western Karnataka, it's interesting where that this has been a stronghold. If you look at the West, this is where the Congress is up for. This has been the heartland of the BJP. These are leads. If these do trend into results or turn into results, then this is where you're making a huge sort of presence. How significant is that for you?
The coast has been sort of a laboratory for Hindutva politics. So every gain that we make there, like we had swept in that region in 2013, is actually a very valuable gain, and because it helps restore normalcy and balance on the ground. But regardless, it also shows that people are sick and tired of that kind of divisive politics. So if we are able to, we would consider that region to be the most competitive and difficult for us. We are doing extremely well across the rest of the state, but the coast has been a challenge, and if these are the numbers that are coming in and indicating sort of a even Steven balance there between secular forces and the BJP, I think that would be a very good sign for Karnataka and for the Congress as well.
Rajiv, I'm just going to focus on Bangalore a little bit for you. Bangalore doesn't seem to have changed sides dramatically from whatever we have. It's the safe seats seem to be with the BJP, Congress, whatever is there. You ran the RWA's Resident Welfare Association campaign, and is there first you saw that there was no great increase in voting percentages. What is going to be the defining feature in terms of Bangalore in this election for the Congress? Is it going to remain exactly how it was perhaps in 2018 with maybe one or two changes, or do you really see some kind of significant gains for the Congress?
I'm looking at tremendous change, Veeraraghav. Basically, you have maybe a dozen seats where the Congress has very strong MLAs. Similarly, on the other side, you have about 10 seats where the BJP is very strong. Now, the remaining seats are more or less the ones in play. And there, our apartment initiative, our outreach to RWAs, to citizen activists, etc., has met with tremendous response. The turnout numbers are misleading in the context of Bengaluru city because the voter rolls are a little messed up. They always will underestimate the actual turnout. And what we've seen is the apartment voters have come out in large numbers. We've got evidence of that from the feedback of various citizen activist groups across the city.
Sure.
And those groups are the ones that are going to make a difference in the outer seats, say Mahadevpura, say Byatranpura, etc., where the growth of apartments has been substantial and where there are a lot of new voters eager for change and an escape from the difficulties of the past. So I do expect that we will, the Congress, which has only 12 or 28 in Bangalore urban, will cross 15, 16, 17 minimally this time.
All right. Let's just go across to NDTV Srija, who joins us as well. Srija, give us an idea of what's happening around you. What is the sense that you're getting now? Are some of the political leaders coming out and speaking, or are they still pretty tense and nervous at this stage?
Well, unfortunately, nothing much yet at Yediyurappa's residence. This is very unusual because all this while we have seen, especially when even from the time where the BJP High Command had not given various tickets to some of the senior leaders, the first action that we witnessed was right here, right outside B.S. Yediyurappa's residence, not even Bombai's or even Mr. Katil, who's the BJP state president. So everybody were rushing right here, those who even got the tickets. tickets just to thank him, or those who even did not get tickets to also try and persuade him to get the tickets. But today, it's unusually quiet, deserted. We haven't seen anyone enter, just apart from his daughter Aruna Devi, but not really much of an activity outside Yediyurappa's residence. But also to talk about other leaders, also we are still not getting in terms of action on ground right outside even BJP headquarters. Not really much of party workers who are very excited in terms of how their numbers are picking up. But what we do know, just like you pointed out, yes, they may be in a in a fear of of course, because of the anti-incumbency wave, whether they are losing or not. But again, you have Bommai himself just about a few hours ago, where he went on to say, exuding confidence, saying that the BJP will come back to power.
Just hold on a second. While you take that question, one interesting thing at this moment, and like these numbers also, Congress at 109 leads, but if you add BJP plus JDS and the other, they are also at 109. Very, very interesting. This is happening right now as far as these leads are concerned.
It's a close election. Sunil, we've got live pictures of Basavaraj Bommai there, presumably in Shigaon, or in Hubli. He's got a house in Shigaon as well as one in Hubli. I think this is the Shigaon house, if I recognize it. So there, perhaps hold up with all his supporters and this one. Sunil, the sense that you're getting, you started off saying that the Congress is hoping for a number around 117 plus, right? The sense that you're getting as you see this on two counts. One is coastal Karnataka, which you understand really well. There seems to be some gains the Congress has been making in coastal Karnataka. And what's the real talk that's happening at the moment in the Congress? Is there still a feeling that you may just be above the majority mark and not have
or just short?
Yeah, so as I said, it's between 117 to 125. That's their own election strategist, who's Sunil Kalagalu, who's been really working and done this entire campaign. They have really made that assessment as we speak. In fact, leads coming in from which will really give you an indicator of how things are. Look at Chikmagalur. CT Ravi, BJP strongman is trailing. This is also a seat where Indira Gandhi contested in 78 to come back to Parliament after she was removed. So you can imagine if that is that indicator that the BJP is trailing. They are quite confident that they still will be able, because to get,
so
even
Sunil,
though it's
I'm
looking
interrupting
right
you now
quite
because
close,
the Congress at this stage, in terms of leads alone,
that they will come towards,
has crossed that magic mark. Sunil, just interrupting you there, because in terms of Maya, would you like to come in for a moment as you analyze this? Firstly, let's look at the overall lead situation. Would you like to run us through this, and then we can talk about regions as well?
Well,
Maya.
Fantastic for the Congress camp, because they have got that 113 figure, at least in terms of leads. That's what they're looking at, really. We have the BJP considerably down again in leads. Of course, this is still early, very early in the day. 84 is much less than they would have wanted and very, very far away from the 113 mark. JDS was always in the 20s. I think they were not really expecting more than the 20s. But whatever it is, even if it's in the 20s, it may make the difference, of course, if the Congress does slip below that 113. And as Ankit was pointing out, the combination of the BJP, the JDS and the others could give competition to the Congress. So, okay, so they've gone to 112 now. They've slipped down that one figure below the 113 magic mark.
Take a look at the regions as well. And Maya, if you want to just go through
some of to our reporters as well?
Yeah, we will. I just wanted to go across to the regions. If we can just do that for a moment and run through those regions, because it is actually a really fascinating story. Again, Maya, if you look at the West, it's the Congress gains over here in this bastion of the BJP, which is significant.
Absolutely. I mean, the BJP, coastal Karnataka, they were kind of synonymous, although there were early reports that the Congress was making a gain here, as you had pointed out, that Congress was actually making a gain here. And the BJP has really gone the Hindutva route in coastal Karnataka. That's what they continue to do. They replaced a sitting MLA with the man who actually fanned that whole hijab issue of young girls having to not being allowed to wear their hijabs, and the man who was behind that campaign was actually given a ticket and replacing a sitting MLA when it comes to the ticket. So the BJP really stressing on Hindutva in the coastal region. So if they are falling here, it's, I think, a very interesting indication of how Karnataka actually looks at that whole issue.
It's not just how Karnataka looks at that Hindutva issue, and I think there was a deeper caste dynamic that was playing in coastal Karnataka, plus anti-incumbency as well. Look, these are regions where the BJP has dominated throughout. Let's quickly get a reaction from both Arun Gunasekaran as well as Pratibha, who's outside the JDS residence. Pratibha, quickly. Or do we have Arun up there?
Arvind, Pratibha, we've got Pratibha, go ahead.
Pratibha, what's the sense you're picking up?
Well, I'm stationed right outside Deve Gowda's residence. What we are told is that Mr. Kumarasamy would be arriving here anytime soon. Just before this, he did seek divine intervention. Perhaps he's hoping and praying to God and the Almighty to find out if he'd get the blessings to be either a king or a kingmaker at this point in time. But there was an interesting remark that he made just before he left for the temple while speaking to the media, where he said that he was literally blaming the media as well as poll experts for claiming that both the Congress as well as the BJP would be scoring extremely well in this election. There was also a hint of disappointment when he said that I am a nobody, I'm an extremely small man here, and he was also claiming that he's going to be playing the wait and watch game, saying that let me wait for at least about 2-3 hours to tell you what my next move is. So there is this wait and watch game, an extremely silent atmosphere that you witness here right outside the JDS camp. Perhaps we'll have to wait and see whether the fractured mandate, if at all it happens, would kind of put the spotlight back on JDS.
We'll go across to Arvind Gunasekaran as well, but before that, so while at this moment combining the postal and the round leads, the Congress is at 118. The BJP at 82, 7 of those 82 are coming from the postal leads, the JDS at 19, and this is exactly what we have been discussing in the exit poll time as well. Anything below 19 is more or less, the decimation in that sense of the JDS. I mean, this is they are at this moment 19 with one postal lead in that. But very interestingly, the Election Commission of India website at this moment, they have 39 leads. 25 of those 39 leads are for the Congress party, 12 for the BJP, 2 for the JDS at this moment. That's the Election Commission. They will take their own sweet time, but at least the Election Commission is predicting at this moment 25, almost double seats as far as the Congress is concerned. Arvind, at this moment, if you combine the postal ballot plus the round leads, the Congress leaders would have the broadest smile at this moment. 119, up 41 from the last time.
Yeah, Ankit, even the exit poll survey or the internal survey of the Congress party showed that they will get at least 115 seats. That's why the Congress party was kind of very confident that they will somehow manage to form the government on their own, and that's why they didn't reach out to JDS. Can we also fix the feedback? And also, very importantly, if we could put the entire Congress campaign strategy into perspective, 1 month ahead of the elections, when the Congress party did the survey, they had almost 3% margin higher than or ahead of BJP. But after Prime Minister hit ground, that's where the momentum of Congress party got arrested, and that's where it galvanized BJP workers, and BJP workers started coming out and campaigning vigorously, and that's where Congress party felt that their momentum is not, they are not able to gain momentum in order to cross the halfway majority mark. So the Congress party kept the elections mostly into localized election. They just focused on the 5 guarantees of the Congress party, and they also focused on this 40% corruption government of BJP. Also, if you could see the election campaign.
Right, Arvind, we'll just go across to some images now coming in. I believe Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is praying. So let's just take a look at this.
Significantly at the Hanuman temple in the national capital. This is a very, very important Hanuman temple. The one in CP, in fact. This is the Hanuman temple, and so she's praying there. Indications also, everything is an indication. And I want to also put across with Priyanka Gandhi, because we are talking about her.
Is this thanks or?
Already it seems, but very interesting data on Priyanka Gandhi. She, among the national leaders, has been the leader from both the Congress and the BJP who has campaigned the maximum in the state of Karnataka. She did 26 rallies. more than even Mallikarjun Kharge, who did 25 rallies, 8 road shows. Overall, Priyanka Gandhi, her presence was 34, the various programs in Karnataka. Compare that to a Rahul Gandhi, 18 for Rahul Gandhi, 26 for Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge and 1 for Sonia Gandhi. And if you contrast it with the Bharatiya Janata Party campaign, because we largely tend to talk more about the way Prime Minister is conducting his, road shows and all. They are quite grand. Prime Minister rallies, road shows, 25. Amit Shah, 31. And JP Nadar, 26. So after Priyanka Gandhi, it's Amit Shah from the Bharatiya Janata Party who has invested most of his time in Karnataka. So that's also very, very interesting. Aarti, if I may bring you in on this, for Priyanka Gandhi, both in Himachal Pradesh and now in Karnataka, she has taken a lead over Rahul Gandhi in terms of the way she is campaigning. She was the one who announced that 2,000 rupees for the women head of the family in Karnataka. She was the one who countered Narendra Modi when the Prime Minister spoke about he's being abused. She was the first one to come out and said Prime Minister makes a list of the abuses against him but doesn't talk about the people. Largely setting that national tone of the leader as far as the Congress is concerned.
Well, I think it proves yet again what all congressmen feel, that Priyanka Vadra is a better campaigner than Rahul Gandhi. She has much more connect with people. She has, if I just go back to that first election that Sonia Gandhi fought in her life when she fought from Bellary, you remember?
Right. Yeah.
And Priyanka Vadra was in charge of her campaign. And, when we went there to see that thing, she was standing on the jeep and, going through, making eye connect with the crowds from a jeep. It was quite incredible to watch her.
Yeah.
So I think that, this is something that congressmen have been saying
She's been a
for
real
years,
factor.
that she is the person.
Is this a sign for
campaigner.
it's
actually interesting.
Many people,
Maya, what-
Priyanka Gandhi actually reminds people so much of her grandmother,
Yeah.
Indira Gandhi.
Was that a...
I think that was very much a feedback then, that she has that same style.
Okay,
that
we've got a
same
voice
style of
from
campaigning.
the BJP at this stage. Aparajita Sarangi from the BJP with us. Thanks very much, Aparajita, for being with us. I know you will say it's early days so far, but at this stage, the Congress significantly up and ahead. What is your reading of the present situation?
We are all glued to the TV screens, and I think Congress is having the lead. But at the same time, I would say that we are not disappointed at all at this stage. I think by 12 noon or by 1 p.m., the idea would come to us as to who is winning and who is losing ultimately. But I think we are all very confident of the fact that we have done our best. We have put in our best. Our main intention has been to serve the people of Karnataka. We have done in the past. And whatever role we would be in, we would be serving the people of Karnataka, remaining connected with them. And I can only say that we went to the people of Karnataka with our report card, and under the leadership of Sri Bommai, we put in our best efforts. Wherever our Prime Minister went, wherever our senior leaders went, we had a huge positive response. All the rallies evoked huge positive response. So even now we are confident that we would be doing much better.
Ma'am, at the moment, the numbers are showing Congress at 118, leading in 118 seats, up 38 seats. By what time are we going to call these elections? By what time will the BJP call this an election?
See, Bharatiya Janata Party is a party with a difference. You may not agree with me, but we indulge in a lot of self-analysis, and we never lose. We either win or we learn. So if we don't have the numbers with us, we would say that it's our learning stage. We would go back to our table and we would definitely look into what went wrong.
Aparajita ji, but if the Bharatiya Janata Party loses Karnataka, practically you are out as far as the south of India is concerned. How significant would this defeat be if it happens? Because at least with what the numbers at this moment suggest, that the Bharatiya Janata Party is trailing with quite a bit. The Congress, in fact, in the lead there. You were talking about the Prime Minister's roadshow. Do you somewhere also feel that the entire emphasis on not having a local leader, Mr. Yediyurappa was not on the ticket, and the issues like Bajrang Dal did not quite work for the BJP?
No, it's far from the truth. I would definitely not say that we had not taken our local leaders along. You please have a look at all the rallies of Prime Minister Modi. In fact, all the local leaders were there up in the vehicle with him. So to say that, we kind of, sidelined them, it's absolutely far from the truth. I can only say that we did our best, but yes, something must have gone wrong somewhere. And we are very good at self-analysis, but yes, I should not get into these kinds of conversations at this stage. Let's wait for next 2-3 hours. Picture will become clear. The only thing is that Karnataka, to say that Karnataka would actually show us the part for, or rather it's the trailer for the film in 2024 is not true. Please don't forget that we just had governments in Tripura, Nagaland and Meghalaya, and last year also we had state governments in 5 places. So to say that, Karnataka would be showing the way for 24 is not right.
But the lesson seems to be, at the moment, the trend seems to be, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is not just you, to our panelists as well, that while the Congress seems to be comfortably ahead, and obviously again, we say till the final results come out, you don't know. The BJP hovering around the 80 seat mark with at the cost of the JDS largely losing out in this thing. So in a sense, the BJP seems to have held on to its strongholds and has those 80 base seats which can allow it to be a very powerful, effective opposition in Karnataka if these numbers hold at the end of the day.
See, whichever role we would be in, we would be very powerful and very effective.
Yeah,
but at the same time, the only objective would be to serving the people of Karnataka.
Right, I was actually putting that question across to Aarti Aprajit.
Yeah, so, I'd just like to say that, look, the Congress has been campaigning in Karnataka for 2 years. All right, it has a robust organization, it has 2 strong regional leaders, and and it ran a very effective local campaign with a very strong issue, 40% Sarkar. Yet, if it doesn't run away with this election, which is what it should have, given the kind of campaign it ran for 2 years, if it's not running away with this election, it means that the BJP has dug deep roots into Karnataka and is holding on to, its areas.
But ma'am,
so if you're looking at 2024,
that could be said about the Congress in 2018 as well, because they also at that point of time won 78
right,
seats despite
which is why the Congress is today, unlike in other states, in a position to form a government.
True.
Every other state, the Congress is just vanishing, But here, it is still robust. It's an active organization.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you're looking for 2024, which is, actually, I think what everybody would be interested in, don't rule the BJP out in Karnataka.
Not at all.
It's still, 2024 is a completely different ball game to what we're seeing today.
Yeah.
So, and the BJP is still a very strong player. And I think what is really key is to see where the JDS stops. Because if the JDS, gets less than its usual number, it means it's becoming a bipolar state.
True.
The Congress versus, BJP state.
A couple of issues. One, with if the results do hold, if you look at 2018, that's when the BJP really maxed out its Karnataka performance. It fell short of a majority. So it does show that I think for the BJP, this 80 seats probably is a base mark, that these are the safe seats. But for them to convert those 80 into a majority, 115, 120, they'll need to probably move into areas like Old Mysore, which in 2018 they could not, and that prevented them from crossing the majority. The second one regarding Lok Sabha, I think Karnataka has always had a different flip.
Absolutely.
If you look at Bangalore City,
from the Congress headquarters, we'll cut to that as well. Pictures of celebrations coming from the Congress. Bhangra is on. I wonder when the traditional Karnataka style celebrations will sort of come by in the Congress.
But what a day it would be for the Congress party, which election after election, post 2014, in a straight fight with the Bharatiya Janata Party, more often than not, has been losing elections.
And this is a major state.
It is a major state.
Unlike Himachal, which they also want, but that's such a tiny state.
Very, very important for the Congress's fortunes in 2024 and also in the elections that they will fight in 2020. Rajiv Gowda, how significant should we put, if these trends hold, for the Congress party, a victory in the state of Karnataka? Even in the campaign, it looked like a do-or-die battle for the Congress party.
I think this is a precursor to many more victories for the Congress nationally, and of course, united opposition victory in 2024. You must remember that in this election, you had a very, very powerful campaign led by the Prime Minister. So this is really a rejection not only of the state BJP, but of the Prime Minister. And it's, multiple things. It's both a positive vote for the Congress our 5 guarantees, our outreach in across the state, but it's also a very significant negative against unemployment, against price rise. And so basically these are issues that are national as well. And the Prime Minister's attempts to communalize the election have failed, and people are too smart. Karnataka's people are too smart to fall for those tricks. And so this is a precursor to what you're going to see across the country. You're going to see the BJP trying to divert attention away from the crucial economic issues and to try and create emotional issues and Hindutwaize the election. And you will see that the people of India will follow the lead of the people of Karnataka and reject this outright.
I should add one quick question which you may want to sort of address. In terms of rounds, there are 4 rounds where counting has actually happened. Not completed, it's happening. Of that, in round number 1, 79% is over. 178 constituencies have gone through that. We are now 17% in round 2, 2% in round 3, and just 1% in round 4. But it's happening quite fast. So we are well and truly over the initial phase. I think when my question is this, when do we call this?
Very difficult to say, because you see the numbers fluctuating.
Yeah.
See, BJP was 80, 82, and it's gone down to 76 now. JDS was down to 19, it has climbed up to 24, which only indicates, Vishnu, that it's a small margin election and things are changing pretty much. But the lead position of the Congress will remain.
Right.
Plus or minus 10 seats is what I guess.
Professor Gowda, may I very quickly, with the data that is coming in on the Election Commission website, they have given about 75 leads so far, 44 to the Congress, 23 to the BJP. But one very interesting thing that it shows, the JDS's vote share at this moment, it's early, 9.76. It's a total decimation as far as the JDS is concerned. It's less than 10% as far as the 9.76 as far as the the percentage is concerned so far.
This probably means that most of the seats are from the northern parts of the state.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just talking about the numbers that we are seeing right now. The Congress at 44.45% vote share, the BJP at 37.71% vote share, JDS at 9.76. Whatever way you look at it, the biggest loser in this election is the JDS, at least with the numbers that are holding at this moment.
To make such a definitive inference, I would wait. But I think these seats are mostly from areas where the JDS doesn't have much of a presence.
Again, I was just talking about the numbers that we are holding right now.
Decimation may be a too strong a word.
Just look at the data that is playing out right now.
Correct. Yeah.
The Congress's vote share is up by 5%. I'm sorry I interrupted you there, Shugata. The Congress's vote share, at the moment, the change that they're talking about is 43% with 5% up. All right, now we've shifted down to seats as well right now. We'll go back to that. 115 seats at the moment. So there is an up. So I think
but a drop of 7% for the JDS. That's a very, very significant number.
Given what we have right now, Chandan, at the moment in the morning, and juxtapose that with the exit polls that predicted in general, is the JDS getting squeezed out? I mean, that seems to be. I'm not making a definitive analysis.
No, it looks like that.
It's getting badly hit is a fair assessment to make. But in terms of decimation, if you have to speak in terms of decimation, we'll have to look at what regions have counted how much.
No, true, but a 7% vote share away from any political party is the most significant percent. I mean, in 4 to 5%, you actually win and sweep elections.
I agree, but you're still in the 4th round.
True, I agree, but I'm just talking about the numbers right now.
I just wanted to take a look at some.
It's taken a hit. It's taken a hit. Whether it's really a body blow or not, we will know at the end of the day. Because trust this, Ankit, and I think Maya, important. You've seen 1999. Which was the biggest victory for the Congress at 132 seats when SM Krishna came out in the process. After that, you've had the BJP split and then they got 124. At 115, and this is to Aarti and Maya, is the Congress comfortable? The number right now seems to be leading in 115 seats. At this number, is the Congress comfortable, or will the Congress be comfortable only if it's past 120 plus?
Unfortunately in Karnataka, it has happened that the election results a year later, what happened last time? In 2018, there was a single largest party. In 2019, the situation changed. So they would definitely like to have a number that is larger than the combination of the other two parties. They would like that. They would like that.
Karge kept saying that please give us 150, otherwise you know what will happen. So that was the thing that was being said in all the rallies and public meetings.
At this moment, the BJP and JDS combined at 105.
Remember that the Congress has post-elections, after they win and they're able to form the government, they have to sort out the Siddharamaiah versus Shiva Kumar battle.
We'll talk about that in just a moment.
No, I'm just saying that is the biggest challenge ahead for the Congress.
Can I just edge it over here with a quick question? I just wanted to go through, some of the key candidates over here, and it's quite significant. And Chandan, you may actually want to look at this. V. Somanna, Chamarajnagar is trailing. Jagdish Shettar in Hubli Dharwad Central is trailing.
As expected.
That was expected.
I would have shared
R. Ashoka trailing. H.D. Kumara Swamy in Channapatna is trailing.
Was he trailing? I thought
at the moment.
Okay.
At the moment,
because that's a very close fight, Vishnu, with C.P. Yogeshwar, who actually
and Jakiroli Ramesh is also trailing. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, C.P. Yogeshwar actually won in 2013. Well, didn't he?
Yes.
C.P. Yogeshwar won in 2013 in that bit. So we'll put those trails there.
Vishnu, do you have the figures for Varun?
That I think this is Ramesh Jarkioli trailing in Gokak.
We'll just check.
Now this is big because Ramesh Jarkioli represents the Jarkioli brothers and their influence in the Belgaum area completely. Yes. 3 brothers, one fighting with the Congress, the other 2 with the BJP. Ramesh Jarkioli trailing in Gokak. That's important.
Like the Shettar and Lakshman Savdi would be a prestige battle for the BJP. They would want them to lose. This would be a prestige battle for the Congress as well. They would want Mr. Jarkioli to lose.
Yeah, Ankit, he crossed over from the Congress and
became
a total liability to the BJP.
So Varuna Somana is trailing. Now,
my trailing in both constituencies.
Yeah,
and this is exactly what I was saying earlier.
And I think the more important one was the one that you
Dr.
pointed out.
Ashwat Narayan, cabinet minister, he is also trailing at this
No, he's leading.
Sorry, Malleshwaram is leading.
No, we are talking. These are BJP safe seats. The day BJP starts trailing in these seats, I think the party is in deep trouble. But these are BJP safe seats. We are talking of, this is Bhaskar Rao, who you interviewed as well. Part of it. I mean, he was expected to trail in that election. Sorry to say that. The question that you raised, Vishnu, very important, of Hubli Dharwad Central. I don't know if we have it up on our screens.
What's the situation over there?
In Hubli Dharwad Central, because I don't have the numbers out here. I wonder what's happening in Hubli Dharwad Central. If Jagdish Shettar is trailing, because I mean, one should also see how much
Hubli Dharwad Central,
because this is a seat that Shettar has held since 1994. Mahesh Tengenkai is State General Secretary, first time contesting an election. It's the party's entire weight was behind Mahesh Tengenkai to prove that these are seats where the candidate is not important, the party is important. The BJP wants to increase those kinds of seats in Karnataka.
Jagdish Shettar is trailing in Hubli Dharwad Central.
Damage.
Yeah. So
he's trailing at this moment. Mr. Shettar is trailing at this moment.
Also a very important point about Shettar himself is Shettar was not the mass leader like Yediyurappa. So his exit, we have been maintaining this right from the beginning, that it has meant very little for the BJP.
Right. That's right.
So that's very important.
I'm making an assumption here, or perhaps an analysis, maybe too early in the day, but are we seeing also, as these results play out, a change in the nature of the BJP in Karnataka, turning into a party which is led as a party and not driven by individuals? You see, one of the big problems for the BJP has been it's been captive to certain powerful candidates. And go on with
families.
I think so, because when B.S. Yediyurappa was there in all his power, he was not an easy person for the BJP to handle from Delhi. He, of course, left the party in between, causing a lot of damage to them in that 2013 election. He was not a pushover by any stretch of imagination. He wasn't a pushover. And there has been a feeling that people in Delhi, in the party in Delhi, want to have a greater say in what's going on in Karnataka, which means less powerful leaders. So you're seeing the old guard being taken away, being moved away, being not given tickets. Maybe their sons are. But Ishwarappa, Jagdish Shettar, Yediyurappa himself, of course, not contesting. So maybe they want people who are more controllable.
Does this also mean in the way the BJP functions in Karnataka? When you speak to a Yediyurappa, he will, when you speak to him over hijab and all those, he said these are not the issues. We talk about the work that we have done. Contrast it with the new team that Mr. B.L. Santosh has put in place. They are largely talking about these issues and a lot of ideological shift bend as far as the BJP is concerned.
Yediyurappa has always been different that way. In earlier times, when you've asked him about some of the very outrageous things which have been said by some of the BJP MPs in Karnataka, he says, I will talk to him. I will talk to him and make him see sense. Yediyurappa has never really been seen as a communal leader, as one who's fanning the flames of Hindutva. He's very, very different that way. That may also not have fitted in perfectly with what the BJP wants in Karnataka.
So shifting their ideological stand as well.
In the long term, because elections are becoming more and more personality driven, whether it's the national polls or local polls, if you don't have a strong state leader, you know, the BJP becomes weak.
Right.
I mean, why is it not able to take on Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal? Because it just simply lacks a good local face. Why are they so strong in UP? It's not only because of Modi, it's also because of Yogi Adityanath.
And that's the difference in the Congress this time. They have strong local leaders.
That's right.
And then, of course, was supplemented by the
by the national leadership.
What I find
So, you know, if they don't build up, okay, Yediyurappa has now passed his prime, he's gone, you know, so you build up a new, but you have to build up a good, strong local leadership to be able to grow and, you know, retain power.
Sanjal, if you know, it's interesting that Jagdish Shettar on the one hand is not leading. He's whereas Lakshman Sawadi is. So it's just a point. So I mean, we may have overplayed the Shettar.
There's a difference between Shettar and Sawadi. See, Shettar belongs to a certain subsect which does not influence the electorate in the neighboring constituency. But Sawadi belongs to Modi's own subsect.
Right.
Which is the reason he's more influential. So he's influencing 8 seats in that belt. It's a kind of horseshoe kind of formation.
Are you surprised about Shettar?
No, I'm not surprised about this. Was known. Shettar on his own, I don't think ever had the ability to pull crowds. So I'm not surprised about Shettar.
So you know, Rajat Ulagadimat, who was the Congress potential candidate who could have been fielded against Shettar had Shettar contested from the BJP, you know, was sharing that, you know, they had prepared for anti-incumbency against Shettar. They had really worked hard in that thing. And now they had to transfer that whole thing back to Shettar. We don't know what the final thing is going to be. But yeah, it's, and also in terms of nature, the difference is that Belgaum is very different from Hubli Dharwad. Hubli Dharwad is the core, hardcore BJP you know, the base where the party cadre is extremely strong.
And Veera, it was a subsect election. You know, you should never forget that. And if the BJP is retaining 80 seats, even after making all these changes, I will give them full credit.
So Rajiv Gowda has just sent a message, Ankit, to say that when you're mentioning Professor Gowda, please mention which Gowda you're talking to. There are 2 Gowdas here on the show. Please.
Kind of. You know, I meant when we are trying to analyze BJP's moves in Karnataka, as if there's a well worked out theory that let's not have any leaders, the whole thing is, you know, pliable to the center's command. I think we do them. I think it's more complex, you know, because if you have no leaders, people will get out of the party and emerge as leaders independently. I think the party will do different kinds of talk. If you recall, Dharmendra Pradhan said Bomma is going to be the next chief minister. They shouldn't speak like that if they were trying to have a party without leaders.
No, but the BJP has always does that, right?
Yeah, they will speak different kinds of
I just wanted to go across to NDTV Sunil Prabhu, who's outside the residence of DK Shiv Kumar, one of the key players of the Congress party, obviously. Are we now, Sunil, in that stage where we need to start talking about Shiv Kumar versus Siddaramaiah, because the numbers at this stage seem very positive for the Congress?
Well, that is definitely something that we have to keep in mind. Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar has made it quite clear that he would definitely like to be a possible candidate. Of course, it will all be dependent, as we've been saying right through this election, on how many MLAs do they have in terms of support of them. The observers will be sent. There is, of course, a long way off, and we'll have to wait till they cross that magic number. But please be clear, there are 2 people who are really in the fray. One is Mr. Siddaramaiah, and the other is Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar. Mr. D.K. Shiv Kumar has been consistently saying in interviews to NDTV that he has been the PCC chief from 3 years ago, worked tirelessly during the last 3 years to build the party, and has made no bones about the fact that he should be considered, and has always said that he will go by the High Command's decision. He will be banking on the former Congress presidents Sonia Gandhi as well as Rahul Gandhi to intervene. Mr. Karge, who's already here in Bangalore, will send a team of observers to ascertain once, of course, the results are out. But definitely DK Shiv-Kumar, who has been the man here, and we are expecting him in a short while. At around 10 o'clock is what he says he'll come down. He's been with his family members and been waiting and closely monitoring and speaking to many of the people across the counting centers to ensure that they be careful and see that there is no foul play at the last minute. So they are still on their guards and they're hoping, but Mr. DK Shiv-Kumar has made no bones about the fact that he aspires to be the CM, and more importantly that he has helped the party in the last 3 years build its base and try to resurrect the Congress's prospects here in the state of Karnataka.
Okay. All right, there's a tweet from the Congress party which is coming in, and this should be interesting. It says, "I'm invincible, I'm so confident. I'm unstoppable today." So this is a declaration of victory. As far as the Congress, was this Rahul Gandhi or just the Congress handle?
It's Congress handle, but with Rahul Gandhi's picture and Katy
Bharat Jodo mentioned over there as well.
And they've used Katy Perry's song's lyrics at this moment, feeling quite confident. Mr.
That's
Rahul
something
Gandhi.
else that we've learnt about Ankit today. He likes Katy Perry.
I like music, Vishnu, all kinds of music. Elections are also good music for me to hear, but at this moment, Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra, because it was, Aarti, even when the Bharat Jodo Yatra went through Karnataka, it was possibly one of the states which it saw the maximum footfall as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned. I mean, that was a huge number of people. Poor Mr. Siddaramaiah had to run with Mr. Rahul Gandhi at that moment in his vesty as well. But this also, the Congress trying to give credit to Mr. Rahul Gandhi as it was expected, but the local leadership, and more than Mr. Rahul Gandhi, it's Priyanka Gandhi who has held the entire campaign there for the Congress.
No, absolutely. But, I mean, this is the problem with the Congress. They cannot get over their whole, obsession with having to build up Rahul Gandhi, whatever happens. Okay. And if they lose, then, of course, Rahul Gandhi is...
Then it would have been Mr. Kharge.
Then it would have been Mr. Kharge, Siddaramaiah, Shiv Kumar, and so on. So, but this is where I think the Congress is making a mistake, because honestly, they must credit the local leadership.
True.
It is important. It is important to build up the morale of your cadre. Ultimately, you win an election if your cadre is enthusiastic, if your organization is good. So, I mean, it's not just one leader. It has to be teamwork.
And I think it's also a little early in the day to declare it, given that it's bordering between 112 and 170.
That's right. Yes,
so
absolutely.
Look, there are about 30 seats, from what I gather, which are reporting very, very low margins. Now, this can shift. I'm not saying that the whole trend can change, but as far as the Congress is concerned, given that, the numbers have to be well above the mark that we are seeing on our screens now, it may not be the time to declare. We have Neeti Jain as well, Vishnu?
Yeah, we've got Neeti Jain of the Congress party with us.
BJP.
Of the BJP with us. Thanks, ma'am, very much for being with us. Neeti, if you look at these numbers at 114, the BJP at 82, I mean, do you sense right now that it's essentially over for you? I mean, even because the gap is too large, for no other reason.
No, I think I would still wait before I call this election. It is too early. The EVMs have just about started opening up about half an hour back. So I think I would wait before calling this election. The second thing, I was just listening you guys discuss that the BJP has a dearth of leaders. I think you're entirely wrong on that, because the BJP leaders have collectively, as a party, fought a very difficult campaign in Karnataka, a very high-pitched campaign in Karnataka. On the other hand, the Congress probably has a problem of having too many leaders, and that would play out in the subsequent days as well. We have seen that happening in a lot of states earlier, and it would probably be working out in Karnataka as well. So how is that a drawback for us? Difficult for me to understand. The third point being, I think we're performing in a lot of segments in Karnataka, I think we're doing pretty well. And like I said, I'd still wait before I call this election in entirety at this point.
Right, those pictures also on your screen. I think a short while ago we were playing pictures of Congress workers already joining the Queen's Road
And all
office.
the political leaders are in temples today and mandirs today. Priyanka Gandhi in Delhi. Then who did we see earlier on?
You saw Kumaraswamy going to the temple.
And the third leader as well.
I was told DK Shivkumar went to the Tiruvannamalai temple yesterday. Well, they're all praying. They're all praying to gods, and if the results are a hung assembly, they'll be praying to the Gaudas. So, you pray to the gods in the morning for a good result, and when you don't get the result, you go pray to the Gaudas. That's Karnataka's way of working, in terms of this. But you see, these images, and I think 116. And I quickly want to get, Aarti and Maya.
Okay, that's Mr. Kumaraswamy.
That's Kumaraswamy as well. I think this was a little earlier in the day, about 15-20 minutes ago. I think these pictures, these are not live pictures, but those pictures that we were seeing at the Congress office.
One disadvantage also that Mr. Kumaraswamy always, or the JDS always had, unlike the BJP and the Congress who had slew of leaders on the ground, plus many coming in from national leadership as well, it was a one-man machinery going across the entire state campaigning for his party wherever he had to. So that's one disadvantage at least that Mr. Kumar.
What you and I saw as a disadvantage, the people on the ground felt one man struggling for a party's fate, and that actually went down very well. And he's 150 speeches, 3 times out of anyone else.
And before the Congress and the BJP started campaigning, he had gone round the state twice. With 2 of his yatras.
And he's had a bypass. It's public knowledge that he's doing all this, and it actually has enhanced the.
And also in terms of resources, substantially lower than the two national
every
parties.
interview he said that. We can't match them. We can't match them as far as the resources are concerned.
You know what would be interesting, Ankit and Veera, is, in fact, Veera, why don't you take us through some of the regions right now? We focused a lot on the leaders, and we'll come back to that. And let's see if there are changes in the last 10-15 minutes.
Before we start the regions graphic, I just wanted a quick question from this graphic that's there.
Bangalore.
Look at this, BJP, Rajiv Gowda, for all your RWA campaign, Bangalore seems to be having a nice BJP stamp on it at the moment, because Bangalore, the BJP seems to be gaining. And I'm not comparing 2019 to 2023. I'm comparing 2018 to 2023. BJP 16 seats in Bangalore up, and this is where the Prime Minister campaigned extensively. The Congress down by 5 seats. I'm trying to figure out which are those seats, because it'll be important for the Congress as well. There's several top leaders there in Bangalore. JDS down by 2 seats.
Rajiv, would you like to come in on that? Bangalore? Rajiv, can you hear us?
Too much attention to at this stage.
Yeah, go ahead.
For example, who is this other who is leading? I mean, this is there's practically no others who have an opportunity to lead. I do think that Congress had 12. We expect it to go to 16, 17 this time. And I expect the BJP to come down and JDS to come down to maximum 1. So I do think these are misleading numbers at this stage. Let's not put too much, weight to them. However, I just want to comment on something earlier when you were talking about Rahul Gandhi's yatra. I just want to point out that yatra really energized the Congress party in Karnataka, and that's what has led to the kind of extraordinary campaign that you've seen across the state. The unity amongst every leader and staying on message, focused on economic issues, and of course the BJP's corruption. So a positive agenda, everything was triggered fundamentally by that yatra, which really energized every one of us here in Karnataka.
Rajiv Gowda, can I just ask you, sir, one fundamental question as far as the Congress party is concerned in that aspect? There is a model sort of election campaign that the Congress ran in Karnataka. Local issues were focused on. When Rahul Gandhi came, he did not pick up on the issues that he has been talking about nationally. He was exposed less than other leaders. There were other leaders, those who have come in. But with the Congress now putting out Twitter videos and everything, crediting Mr. Rahul Gandhi, is that a mistake that the Congress is making? Because every time there is a direct comparison between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi, that's where the BJP feels it has its greatest advantage.
See, the victory belongs to every Congress worker, every Congress leader, and to Mr. Rahul Gandhi as well. So So I don't see any mistake here at all, and I don't think credit is being allocated in that particular manner. It's an extraordinary team effort led by Mr. Gandhi, Mr. Kharge, Priyanka Gandhi, Siddaramaiah, Shiv Kumar, everyone, and every one of them deserves maximum credit for this wonderful campaign that's giving us victory in a few hours.
Rajiv, let me ask you the question that if these numbers hold, we will have to ask maybe for over the next 24 hours. Who is it going to be the Chief Minister? I mean, is it going to be DK Shiv Kumar, Siddaramaiah? What's your bet on?
I don't get into that issue at all.
So you don't bet, or you're not a betting man?
I have a chance to choose the leader. But between our MLAs and the High Command, you will have an answer in the next couple of days.
You know, there's something that's interesting which has come in. There are no more postal leads that we are looking at. So we are done and dusted as far, Maya, with postal leads are concerned. So what we're looking at now are just round leads. And so with round leads, the Congress is at 115. So
120 now.
It's 120.
119 in fact.
So Maya, any thoughts on that? That, you know, the early phases are, you know, it's over. It's not even 10 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, postal ballots.
We're done and dusted with postal ballots.
Postal ballots are a chance to give people who are voting. Like when I went and voted at my voting booth,
Right.
the young woman police officer there said, "I've done through a postal ballot." So postal ballots are to make people feel happy.
Yeah.
But in terms of numbers, it's really maybe not that significant. This is the very fact that we've come up to this figure now with the EVMs themselves.
Even with the Election Commission data, Maya, the Congress is at 95. They are close to 100 now. 180 leads have come in the Election Commission data. 95 for the Congress, 61 for the BJP, 19 for the JDS. 2 have been to independents, 1 to NCP at this moment, and 1 to KRP party, and then Sarvodaya Karnataka Paksha has also won. So Congress,
one for the BSP.
One for the BSP. Not at this moment.
But it was up on your screen.
The EC website doesn't say that the BSP. So I'm saying that with 180 leads in the election, with the election commission, Congress is close to 100 now, 95 for the Congress party.
And what, again, just to explain that figure, you see, everyone is BJP, JDS, but Congress, we put it as Congress plus. And that's primarily because of Darshan Puttanaya.
That one seat where they haven't put a candidate.
Melkote, where they've decided to support Darshan Puttanaya, Sarvodaya Karnataka Paksha. Right? So that's the one seat that's there. So, you know, 119 up 39, you know, it's quite interesting. I mean, you know, down to 74. I mean, if these numbers hold, even if it's below 120, you know, do you think the Congress will be comfortable?
Unlikely. You know, I mean, they'll not be comfortable. You know, I mean, they probably need 10 more to
what
say
does the
that
BJP and the JDS add up to right now?
101. Plus others at 106.
Okay, very quickly.
I feel if the BJP stays in the 70s, I don't think it's going to make a serious. They may do something to, you know, just for drama, but I don't think it's going to make a serious effort to form a government.
Very quickly, we were talking about Mr. Yediyurappa since morning. His house, more or less, nobody was there. Shrija could have, you know, sent us the 7 a.m. OB, and it would have played at 10 o'clock also, because there was no difference at this moment. But this is Mr. Yediyurappa watching the election results along with his family members. These are visuals from inside his residence which are coming in. His son also there, Mr. Yediyurappa, watching, in fact, these results. You know, Veera Raghav, how important this election would be for this man, credited more or less to make the party the way BJP is in Karnataka?
Look, he, you know, he was a man who broke away, was this aggressive rebel in 2010, 2011, who, you know, when you asked to. I think he's resigned to the fact that his time may be over in terms of politics, but he remains that, you know, it's the shadow of Yediyurappa that remains over the BJP. There is no other state leader who can match him, and that's also primarily because of Yediyurappa himself, right?
Yes.
He didn't allow the rise of another state leader. So I think even as an opposition party, he will play a role from the outside. But I think it shifts more to his son.
Quickly go to Shrija at this moment. She's outside. Mr. Yediyurappa inside. Shrija watching the election result, hopefully on NDTV. Let's very quickly, what's happening? Any activity now outside his residence?
Well, I'm very sorry to show you this deserted look outside Kaveri residence. You cannot see a single person right outside his residence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes, of course, Mr. Yediyurappa is watching the results.
Shrija, you're the only one who's waiting outside Yediyurappa's gate.
Well, no, if you really want me to show you like what is it like outside, we have a lot of other media persons too, but it's a very unlucky probably for us for the next few hours, or maybe once, you know, the BJP starts picking up more numbers in more constituencies, key constituencies, maybe we will look at more leaders coming in here. But as of now, we're not really looking at much of an activity, nothing, no entertainment, no excitement up here. But of course, what we do know is that Mr. Yediyurappa is watching the counting, especially with his family members right inside his residence. On the other hand, you still have, Bombay and other big leaders, top leaders of the BJP, trying to exude that confidence, saying that the BJP is winning.
Sure.